The topic which has been selected today for presentation is keeping a positive mind and positive thoughts. I think this is the requirement. This is a very, very important thing in today's second wave of the pandemic. I love this quote by Sister Shivani. She says, healing doesn't mean the pain never existed. It means the damage no longer control our lives. And today we will hear how to heal ourselves from the second pandemic. Many of you won't know, but Sister Shivani is a Pune girl. She was born in Pune. She did her schooling from St. Helena School in Pune, studied in Ferguson College, and also did her electronics engineering course from the Bharati Vidyapit College. Since her college times, she's been a very intelligent girl, very studious, and always loved science and did very well in her academic career. As she was getting to the end of her course, her mother influenced her to visit the Brahma Kumari ashram in Pune. She further did a 7-day course and then learned the Raj Yoga meditation. And this is the time when she learned the meditation. She felt deep peace, love, and there was a spiritual connection with God, and that was her calling. That was her awakening. Her interest in spirituality has always been there. And then she went to Mount Abu, became a follower of the Brahma Kumari ashram and the school. And there was one day when Dadi was supposed to give a discourse, and for some reason she could not. And Sister Shivani was there and she spoke. And they realized that she's such a great speaker that Dadi and all the others of the Brahma Kumari organization brought her into the limelight, asked her to speak, and then the rest is history. She's currently a senior Raj Yoga teacher. She has been traveling extensively to spread the message of spirituality and the teachings of Brahma Kumari through various discourses, conferences. But since the last 14 months, because of the COVID pandemic, she has hosted many virtual programs. And actually now her YouTube channel is a very, very popular channel, and it has more than 3.5 million followers. So she has touched the lives of so many people without actually having met them, but she has healed so many people. There's a very interesting program she has been running for last 13 years, Awakening with the Brahma Kumaris. And with this, again, she has empowered people to overcome issues of the emotional distress, depression. And again, for her transformation work, she was awarded the prestigious Nari Shakti Puraskar, the highest civilian honor for women in India. And this is something phenomenal. I don't want to take much time and be in between you and Sister Shivani, but this is again one of her quotes. You cannot have a positive life with a negative mind. And today, let us hear from none other than Sister Shivani how to have a positive mind and positive thoughts. I hand over the further proceedings to respected Sister Shivani. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parag, and thank you to each one. It's really a fortune to be together in this beautiful gathering of healers. Healers are like angels of God who liberate people from disease and from pain and sorrow, and in return earn millions of blessings from each one for the rest of their life. Once you have healed someone, they and their family radiate lots of love and blessings to you forever. So that is something which very few professions are able to earn, but healer is one of them. So healer is one who is earning so many blessings during the day that the mind of a healer, it's very easy to remain light and calm and emotionally strong because we are earning a lot of blessings. But on the other side, a healer is also the one who is dealing with pain throughout the day. It's not easy, one after the other. everyone you meet, they are not just with a disease in their body, but they're also with pain in their mind. Because every time someone is physically uncomfortable, the body is diseased, or let's say in most cases for each one of you, we are coming with some kind of an injury or some kind of an accident, small or big. There is pain in the body. But when there is pain in the body, most people also start experiencing pain in the mind. That means it's stress, anxiety, worry, financial stress because of what we are going to do now. There are so many things on the minds of the people. So, as far as the healer is concerned, every time you are interacting with someone, so even if you're meeting someone for say 5 to 10 minutes in your OPD, and one person who is the one who is diseased or injured is also accompanied by another family member also who may be going through some turbulence in their mind, worry and anxiety. So a healer throughout the day is not just meeting people with the disease, but is also meeting people with minds which are stressed. And so unaware, it's not even there on your mind, but unaware you are receiving a lot of vibrations of pain. They are there in your room, they are there in your hospital. Like during COVID times, we are aware that there is COVID around us, so we're aware the virus could be anywhere near us. And so you have taught all of us how to take care of ourselves. So you taught us the distance, the sanitization, the washing, and the mask. Such simple steps. And if we take these simple steps, each one is protected most of the time. So the chances of any of us getting that COVID is extremely low if we took the best measures. Of course, there is some percentage that it will happen, but chances are very less. Simple protection, physical protection from a physical virus. You taught us that, and life becomes very easy if we follow it all. Similarly, it's not just during COVID times, it's also before that, and it will also be after that, especially in the life of a healer. Especially because every time you are interacting with people, there is an emotional vibration. One is a physical virus. That physical virus enters into my body and it creates a physical disease. The other is a emotional vibration. If the person I am meeting is emotionally upset, hurt, anxious, worried, or stressed, and if I am connecting with them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and if I don't protect myself with the sanitization and the mask and all that's needed on an emotional level, not physical, it's not a visible one. If I don't protect myself, then unaware, that little emotional vibration of the person and their family starts entering into my energy field. My energy field, in the sense, my aura. What is my aura? It's the energy of who I am as a person. My every intention, memory, thoughts, feelings, all our energy is like an energy field, what we call vibrations. When we sometimes say, I didn't get very good vibes from that person, or for someone I said, I get very good vibes from that person. So we all can feel vibrations. So what are vibes? What are vibrations? It's about who the person is here. It's not about who the person is here, what they've achieved, what they've done. It's about who the person is here in their mind. So similarly, when you're treating people, you are also receiving their vibrations. Now, every 10-15 minutes, you are meeting someone, and then sometimes there is a crisis, sometimes there is an accident case, then there is a trauma, a very critical surgery, and there is anxiety around you. Now, if this happens 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, it's very easy to manage. All of us can manage it. But when it happens day after day, and it's a part of our life, unaware, it starts entering into our energy field. And then we start saying, that stress is a part of healthcare profession. Stress is normal for doctors, is what we start saying. And then when you ask a doctor, why do you believe that stress is normal for a doctor? So they will say, because of the kind of work we do, it's the crisis we deal with, it's our schedules, we don't have day, night, nothing, sleep cycles are broken. So we think that the cause of the stress is all those. That's a very, very minor cause. That's more something that will create a physical fatigue. As far as doing all the surgeries and everything that you do, most of them you have been doing all your life. So it comes very simple and very natural to you. The cause of the stress is not in what we do. This is the first equation that we need to hold today, because only then will we will be able to handle COVID. The cause of the stress is not in what we do. The cause of the stress is how we are here. Stress is never because of a situation. Stress is because of our emotions in that situation. In physics, the stress is a very simple formula. Stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Stress is not equal to pressure. It's pressure divided by resilience. So pressure is the situation. Yes, we have lots of pressures. So every time you're handling a crisis, a very difficult accident case, it's a pressure. It's a very high pressure. You are dealing with somebody's body, life and death, anything can happen. It's a pressure. There is no doubt about it. But stress is not equal to pressure. It is pressure divided by resilience. Need of the hour to start focusing also on the denominator. Pressures not in our control. Anyways, they were high even before 2020. And then came COVID, the pressure went to another level altogether. Another level altogether. In times when people sitting at home, safe and secure, COVID cannot enter into their houses, even they are creating fear and anxiety. So we can imagine what the pressure is for a healer who has to walk into that space every single day into a hospital. But still, it's a pressure. Still, it's a pressure. We still have a very big factor which is in our control, and that is the denominator, the inner resilience, the inner power of the human mind to face that pressure. You all have experienced it. Hypothetically, suppose you have two patients. This is hypothetical. No two patients are identical, but still, if you have two identical bodies with two identical diseases, and you, the same doctor in the same hospital, give them the same identical treatment, you all have experienced two people do not respond the same way. They do not. So there is one factor, no, which plays a role in the healing, and that factor is also the mind of the person. And that's why you always tell all your patients, relax, don't get stressed. Why do we tell them, relax, don't get stressed? The body is diseased. You are the doctor, and the medicines and the procedure will heal the body. Why do we repeatedly tell them, relax, don't get stressed, relax, don't get stressed? Because we know that their mind is also one part of the healing. So for those patients who are very stressed, the body unnecessarily starts reacting. Sometimes we get complications. Sometimes it takes longer to heal. And those minds who are very calm, very positive, very, very focused, very stable, their body heals faster in most cases. That happens. So we know the mind body connection. So as healers, we will have to share with the world in the present time the mind body connection. COVID is not just a disease which hits the body. What is hitting the mind is our anxiety about that disease. And that anxiety then lowers the vibration which we radiate to the body, and then healing, which could have been simpler, unnecessarily gets complicated because we create so much panic and fear and anxiety about the disease. So, the mind body connection. So, who is healing a patient? Who is treating the patient? The doctor, the mind of the doctor, the mind of the patient, the mind of the family of the patient is also very important. If a family of a patient surrenders to a doctor, Doctor Saab, whatever you say is fine, we trust you, everything will be fine, and they have this lot of faith in the doctor, in the system, in the hospital, things just move with ease. And that's why it said, faith. Faith can move mountains. Faith is a very big healing energy. Faith in the healer is very important. But if the mind of the family and the patient is very agitated, then we know that it creates certain energies in the treatment also. So all our minds are also part of the healing. This is something we need to always remember. The doctor's mind, the nurse's mind, the patient's mind, the family's minds, and then the procedure and the treatment. So we need to, as healers, as doctors, we also need to start taking care of our mind and the mind of the people who are working with us, which means our juniors, our assistants, our nurses, our staff, their minds. The energy of a hospital, that also plays a role in the healing. Lot big role the energy of the hospital plays. So now when a doctor is interacting with patients, we need to remember that the patient's vibrations enter into our energy field. We have to protect ourselves, and to protect ourselves, we have to keep our energy field very high. Vibrations always flow from higher to lower. Energy always flows from high to low. Similarly, if a patient's energy is a little disturbed because they are not well, doesn't matter. But if the healer's energy is here very high, then the patient's disturbed energy cannot enter into the healer's energy field, but the healer's energy field empowers the patient. And you all have experienced that when the patient comes to meet you, because you are very calm, you are very positive, you are very detached, and when you talk to them for 5 minutes, they will come out of the hospital and they will say, I still haven't taken the medicine, I haven't yet started the treatment, but after meeting this doctor, I am already feeling little better. I'm feeling very nice after meeting them. I am very certain. My pain has already started reducing after meeting them. There is a lot that happens in a patient doctor interaction, in a relationship, in a communication. So either the patient's vibration can enter into our energy field, or our vibrations can enter into the patient's energy field. One of the two is always going to happen when any two people meet. When any two people meet. So our role is, because we are interacting with patients, we cannot afford to allow their vibrations to come into our energy field. Otherwise, we will start experiencing stress and anxiety. Please remember, stress and anxiety is not because of what you do. That's hardly 10%. That's hardly 10%. Remaining 90%, it's because of the vibrations that you are surrounded with. This is an emotional, invisible infection. It's there in the air and we catch it because we've not done anything to protect ourselves. We've not. So let's start working on raising our vibration. And that vibration is called emotional health. Emotional health. You all are doctors of the body. Then we have doctors of the mind, which is psychiatrists and psychologists. So we have physical health specialists in all fields. We have mental health experts. But now each doctor also needs to be an emotional health doctor, because everyone you are meeting, especially during COVID and even after COVID, you are going to meet a lot of people whose emotional health may not be the perfect emotional health. They will not have a mental health issue, which means they won't have depression or anything like that. But emotional health is disturbed. So this is a third health. There's no doctor for it. There's no doctor for emotional health. Each one of us has to be the doctor for emotional health. So when we understand our own emotional health, then to understand the emotional health of people and to empower them becomes very, very easy. So let's go back to the formula. Stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Resilience is inner power. Inner power. And I, the healer, am responsible to keep my resilience factor high, so that even if my pressure is very high, if my inner power is higher, my stress will always be low. My stress levels will be low, they will be negligible. I will be very calm and stable. So let me start working on the resilience, the inner power. Even otherwise, we need to do it. But now we have COVID. So COVID is another pressure. It's come into the numerator. And because when this COVID came, you know what we all said together as a society, not just in the country, but also in the world, we said fear and anxiety is normal. Now, this is where emotional health has to be picked up. What is emotional health? My thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, in response to every situation. How do I know whether I'm emotionally healthy, emotionally fit, or emotionally I'm a little weaker and I need to work on myself? Simple test. There is a simple test to check my emotional health. Situations and people's behavior. Any situation, random, any situation, people's behavior. If you believe that situations and people's behavior are the cause of your thoughts and feelings, which means you feel in your mind depending on how the situation is. If the situation is perfect, you are happy. If people are working fine, you are happy. If people are listening to you and doing things right, you are happy. Which means if the situation is perfect, you are happy. But if the situation is not my way, if people are not behaving, not working my way, and you believe that getting angry, getting irritated, getting agitated, getting stressed is normal, if you believe it's normal, then it means that your mind, you believe that your mind is dependent on situations and people. This is the one equation of life we all need to change, because this is low emotional health, where my emotions are not in my control, but I believe they are dependent on people and situations. This is called emotional dependence, dependent on people and situations. One equation needs to change, and you can experiment this today. You can experiment this right now. Just rewind on your mind the last time you got angry. Anytime. It could be this morning, Sunday morning. It could be in the whole week when you got a little angry, a little irritated. Just rewind that scene, bring it there. Now, just look at the same scene. If everything is the same, their mistake, what they did, everything that went wrong, everything is the same. And then bring the focus on yourself. If given another chance, can I respond differently in the same scene? Can I? And bring the spotlight on yourself and see yourself responding another way to the same situation. And I'm sure each one of you will agree that we all have the power to respond differently. We reacted that day. We can handle the same situation with calm, with ease, with respect. But that day we reacted, which is okay, no problem. But the realization is I have the choice how to respond. The situation is not the cause of my anger. We've lived our life saying, I'm angry because of, I'm irritated because of, I'm upset because of, I'm worried because of, I'm happy because of. So, good or bad, whatever's going on here is because of something outside. This is emotional weakness. This is low emotional health. This is low emotional quotient. Emotional independence. Yes, they behaved wrongly. Yes, they did not do things right. Yes, there was a crisis outside. I choose my response. I created anger. I create calm. I create worry. I create care. So, emotion inside situations cannot enter into my mind and create my emotions. We choose and create our emotions. This is emotional health, to be aware of that. To be aware of that. That situations don't create my thoughts. I create my thoughts in response to the situation. So, the first experiment or the first homework, it's like a little homework that we need to start doing, that from this moment onwards, and let's do it for first 24 hours and then at least for a week. Every time there is a situation and you respond, just remind yourself, I am the creator of this response, which means end of blame game. No blaming anybody for how you are feeling. Good or bad, this was my choice. I created it. So remind yourself every single day, I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, behavior. I am the creator of every thought, feeling, word, behavior. This is the first step to emotional health. So then we don't give our mind the liberty to keep getting irritated and angry on every scene saying, oh, it's because the scene was like that. No, the scene was like that. It was not a very right scene, but I choose how to respond. Why it's very important to conserve emotional health. The pandemic will take some time to settle down. You know all that better than us. And you know that these next few months have challenges in store, and you have to handle a lot more than probably you've already handled in the last 1 month. If you do not protect your emotional health, I know every doctor is concerned about physical health, but really, for you, it's a smaller concern. All of you are vaccinated, you are protected, you know that even if that COVID comes to you, it won't be able to do much in most of the cases. So, physical health really is not that much of an issue of concern. It's not. But an issue of concern is emotional health of a healer, especially because these next few months are going to see bigger challenges, which means numerator pressure is going to increase in the next few months. So, first step that we need to start today, no reactions, getting angry, shouting, irritating. No, because this is depleting my emotional health. I have to conserve my emotional health. I have a lot to do in the next few months. I have to conserve my emotional health. It is when our emotional health really dips, then there are chances we shift to a mental health issue. Then it doesn't remain an emotional health issue. Then it shifts to a mental health issue. Then there can be signs of depression and then some things more than that. So we need to conserve emotional health. So let's change simple habits from today. The way we react to situations. There are some typical habits where we react, same people making the same mistake, we are reacting every day with them. Our nurse, our staff at home and at work, they cannot be always our way. We have to understand people cannot always be my way, but I have to learn how to be with them, conserving my energy. So I will instruct them, I will be strict with them, I will advise them, but I will not waste this energy. I have to conserve emotional health. I have to be emotionally fit for this pandemic. I have to be emotionally very strong. So I will not throw away my energy like this reacting with people. So the way of working, the way of living is going to change a little bit. So the first thing is I am the creator of my response. This increases our denominator, that inner power. And second, I will create only healthy responses. We have grown up believing that uncomfortable emotions are normal. And sometimes there are some doctors also who say that. So, really, it's a responsibility of the healthcare professionals to change this belief system in society. Somewhere, scientists and doctors and medical professionals, they said stress is normal, anger is normal, fear is normal, worry is normal, anxiety is normal, jealousy is normal, comparison, criticism, competition, everything which is an uncomfortable emotion here, they called it normal. And they said this is a normal human emotion. And because they called it normal, society allows themselves to create it throughout the day. It's a normal hai. This is so normal to get angry. And so we allow ourselves to create it. As a doctor, you know how important the word normal is. Normal. What is normal? What blood pressure is normal? What sugar level is normal? Today, what oxygen level is normal? The human mind needs to be very clear of the definition of normal. Similarly, what emotion is normal? How can uncomfortable emotions be normal? They create an uncomfortable effect in the body also. Even a child going to school before an exam starts getting fever, acidity, nausea, vomiting, dry mouth, hands sweating. What is all this? This is not normal. And why is this not normal? Because child is stressed. So how can stress be normal? So second important equation is never call uncomfortable emotions as normal. They are not normal. They are an emotional illness. All these words are an emotional illness. So, what is normal? Calm, stability, gratitude, faith, cooperation, caring, sharing, happiness, love, acceptance. All this is normal. So when we give this message out into the world that which emotion is normal and which is an illness, half the disturbances from society will change if we could tell them what is emotional health. But let's begin with us as healers, that these beautiful, comfortable feelings, which also create comfort in the body, they are the normal feelings, they are the normal emotions. So, one, I am the creator, and second, I know which one is normal, so I will only create those ones. Now, to make this simple, simple lifestyle habits, which we need to implement always and especially during the current time. Just by saying that I have to think positive, it won't happen. Na? Like just by saying I want to be healthy, my body doesn't become healthy. I have to have certain lifestyle habits. Similarly, a positive mind, right thoughts, which means good emotional fitness, emotional health, I need to have simple lifestyle habits. Let's see how we can take care of those during the day. One spiritual equation. In Hindi, it is Sankalp se Siddhi. Sankalp means thought and Siddhi means manifestation. Our thoughts manifest. This is a very, very powerful law. Like law of gravity, this is a law of spirituality. Our thoughts manifest. They become a reality. Any repeated thought becomes a reality. So we need to be very careful how we think. If we create negative thoughts and keep repeating them often, then they are called negative affirmations. They will become a reality. If we want to start thinking positive, today we will create a few positive affirmations, which means beautiful, pure, powerful, positive thoughts. We will create them now. You can note them down and then just start using them every single day. We'll see when to use them and how to use them. We are teaching the mind to think in a little different way. Equation is thoughts manifest, which means whatever reality you see, you don't think what you see. You think that what you want to see. Everything that we create in the world first gets created in the mind. And that's why scientists say everything is created twice, once in the mind and then once in the world. This is what it is. First create it here and then see it happening here. This is thoughts manifest. So if I want to become calm and stable, but right now I'm very agitated. So I need to first create a thought inside. I am calm, I am stable. But then my mind says, but I am not. So why should I say I am? Because when I say I am and I say it every single day, I am calm and stable. I am calm and stable. I am a positive mind. When I start saying this every single day, then within the next few days, my programming here will start changing. This is reprogramming the mind, the coding of the mind. But if I keep saying, I am stressed, then came COVID and I said, I am very stressed, and then I said, next few months are going to be very stressful, then that is what is going to manifest. So let's take few powerful positive affirmations and make them our reality. First affirmation, I am a powerful being. Powerful being. What is powerful? Emotionally fit here. Doesn't get affected by situations and people, which means doesn't get disturbed. Radiates calm, radiates compassion. A healer is equal to compassion. But compassion is equal to a calm and stable mind. An agitated mind can take care, can treat, but cannot radiate compassion. Compassion means pure energy. Pure energy. If I treat someone but I'm disturbed inside, then I'm treating fine, but I'm radiating disturbing energy because I am disturbed inside. So compassion is a high vibrational pure energy. So first equation, I am a powerful being, which means situations and people don't disturb me, I remain strong. I am a powerful being. And you're going to visualize this first thing in the morning, throughout the day, with people, with your staff, with the nurse, with the patient, with your spouse, with everybody. I am a powerful being. I choose my response, perfect, accurate response in every situation. I am the master of my life. I am the master of my situation. I don't react, I respond. So, first affirmation, I am a powerful being. Second affirmation, I am calm, I am stable. I am calm, I am stable. Third affirmation, I am fearless. I am fearless because fear is the predominant emotion in the air now. Air, it's in the air, it's a very heavy energy right now. That's also the reason that sometimes we create it, because we catch it from the air. I am fearless. Fearless, absolutely. Fourth affirmation, which is very important and needs to be taken in the right perspective. I am detached. Very important. I am detached. We need to understand detached in the right perspective. Detached doesn't mean I'm indifferent. Nothing makes a difference to me what's happening around me. No, no. Healers cannot be like that. Healers are compassionate. But detached means that whatever is happening around you, it also has a vibration. That vibration is not entering into your energy space. You are detached. You are detached. Like a surgery. Why does a family member generally does not operate on another family member? Because of attachment. Attachment might create a different energy. So unless the healer is very strong, they choose not to operate on someone they know. So detachment is strength. Detachment means we work on them, we treat them, but we don't get affected emotionally by their emotions. This is very, very important for the next few months. It always is, but next few months it's very, very important. We're going to be doing our best. We are going to be doing more than our capacity, but we will have to be in the highest energy to be able to do more than our capacity. But if we start getting affected and absorbing the emotion of what's happening around us, it will lower our capacity. And we don't want that to happen. So we will put an affirmation in the morning, I am detached. So I am powerful, I am calm and stable, I am fearless, I am detached. Fifth, my body is perfect and healthy and will always be. So we are not going to create a thought, what if this COVID happens to me? We're changing the coding here. My body is perfect and healthy and will always be. Create one very powerful visual in front of you, an affirmation. God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. Please draw this right now in your mind. Divine light, God's divine light of purity and power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. Like you wear a PPE kit, virus cannot come inside you. No way through that kit. Similarly, if you envelop yourself with a divine energy protection around you, lower vibrational energy cannot enter into it. Vibrations are only a thought. It's only a thought, and it only requires a thought to protect from a thought. So somebody else's emotion is only a thought around me, and I create a thought that I am protected by the highest vibration. The lower vibration thought cannot enter into this. So you will be dealing with people, treating people, being there in the chaos, but their pain means emotional pain, their anxiety, their fear, that will not come into your energy field. And you will have to create this protection circle every day. You cannot. You have to be emotionally very strong for the next few months. So God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. That's the next affirmation. Then you create that same circle around your family. Because there's always a lot of concern that I go to the hospital daily and then I come home, and what if somebody at home gets it from me? I'm not going to think like that. If they get it, we will treat it. But why should I create a thought, what if they get? We take care, but we don't create the thought of what we get. We will create a thought, God's blessings are a circle of protection around them. They are safe, they are secure. Every day we are going to create this affirmation. Then create this affirmation for your hospital. Very important. Very, very important. Times are such, lots is going to happen in the hospital. Every day so much is going to happen in the hospital. Normally also it happens, but right now more. So create this. God's power and blessings is a divine circle of protection around my hospital. Everything today is going to be smooth and accurate and perfect. Everything, which means nothing will go wrong. There will be no mistakes. There will not be any chaos. Everything. There will be a lot that will happen, but there will not be mishaps. So when you bless your hospital first thing in the morning, instead of worrying, what if this happens? What? No. Sankalp se siddhi, our thoughts manifest. Our thoughts manifest. So our every thought is going to be a high vibrational thought. So create that energy circle for your hospital. Everything today is going to be stable, perfect, accurate. Accurate. And then just create one last thought, energy circle for the planet. That God's blessings is a healing energy circle around the planet. The world is beautiful. The world is perfect. So now how many affirmations did we get? I am a powerful being. I am calm and stable. I am fearless. I am detached. My body is perfect and healthy. God's power and blessings circle of protection around me, around my family, around my hospital, and around the world. 10 thoughts. Only 10 thoughts. How simple this is. Only 10 thoughts, which now we will see when we have to create this, because very important what time we have to create these thoughts. Like the medicine you give, these are these little medicines for our emotional health. What time and how many times do we have to create these thoughts so that these thoughts become programming here, and within a few days they will start becoming your natural thoughts, your normal way of thinking, and within the next few days they will start manifesting in your life. You will see that you will not react the way you used to react before. You are able to handle the same scene in a little better manner. You're not getting irritated, you're not getting angry. You will start seeing this happen automatically. So now when to create these thoughts? So those are the simple lifestyle changes. First thing is the first thought in the morning. The first thought in the morning is extremely important. Extremely important. I know you are a doctor. I know you have to check your phone. But you know what? If there was an emergency, somebody would have already called you. Just give yourself 5 minutes before you look at the phone. Just 5 minutes first when you wake up. Don't look at the phone. Normally, for other people, we tell them not for 1 hour to look at their phone. But because you're a healer, 5 minutes don't look at the phone. And after those 5 minutes, when you look at the phone, only look at your patients and hospital related. Don't look at anything else that's happening in the world. That's not meant for the first hour of the morning. For a good emotional health, we need a good emotional diet. Emotional diet. And what is emotional diet? What we watch, what we read, what we listen. Information. What we watch, what we read, what we listen is who we become. So when we say positive thoughts, positive mind, then we need a positive emotional diet. However much I think, I cannot create positive thoughts unless I consume a positive diet. Like if I want health, I need to have a good diet. I can't eat junk food and have good bones. It's not possible. It's not possible. So I cannot consume junk information. Now, junk information doesn't mean what's happening in the world. Junk information means what is toxic energy. Toxic energy for me. I cannot keep consuming that and say I can have a positive mind and positive thoughts. Not possible. It's just not possible. So, healthy emotional diet is what I watch, what I read, what I listen. First thing in the morning is very important, my emotional diet. So 5 minutes, don't look at the phone first. Just as you open your eyes, your first thought is very important. This mind is like a blotting paper. Our first thoughts go deep into the subconscious. So the first thought, even before you fully opened your eyes, gratitude. Tune your mind to gratitude first thing in the morning. Gratitude to the supreme power, gratitude to your mind and body for being healthy, gratitude to people, gratitude to your hospital, to your work, gratitude to nature. There's so much to be grateful for. Gratitude is a high vibrational energy. So, first 4 5 thoughts, gratitude. Next, those 10 affirmations. We need to create them first thing in the morning. So imagine the mind absolutely calm, just woken up from deep sleep. This blotting paper, absorption power highest. Mind is like a blotting paper in the morning. And the first thoughts that I put onto it, gratitude. And the second set of thoughts, I am a powerful being. I am fearless, I'm calm and stable, body perfect. Now, every thought that I'm putting in at that time when I just wake up, this is going deep into the subconscious because I have just woken up from deep sleep. Subconscious mind is activated, the thought will go inside. And that's why I said don't look at your phone for 5 minutes. Because if you first look at your phone and if you see this happened to this patient, this happened, then all that will go onto the blotting paper first. Then the blotting paper will get saturated. So, yes, patient care is very important, but in order to be able to take best care of my patient throughout the day, self-care is very important. Self-care is very important. So the first 5 minutes, say those affirmations at least 5 times in the morning, at least 5 times, and try and visualize them. I'm powerful, I'm calm and stable, my body is healthy, divine light aura. See yourself in the hospital, calm and stable. People make mistakes. I respond with stable. See all this in the morning here. So, power of affirmation plus power of visualization creates miracles, absolute miracles. And these miracles are best created in the healthcare industry because with the body, these miracles manifest very fast because mind instruction follows to the body immediately. 5 minutes. Then you are checking your phone to know everything about your patients and your hospital, but not about the world news, not about any social media handles, and not about anything else. First thing in the morning, nahi. Uske baad, you meditate for some time. Need to learn meditation. And what is important is also at least 20 minutes. And this is very, very important. Please don't ignore this. This is very, very important. At least 20 minutes of consuming a positive emotional diet. Only a positive emotional diet with those affirmations and meditation can give you a positive mind. There's no other way. It's not possible any other way, especially when you're surrounded with a crisis. It's not possible. Over a period of time, that crisis is going to start taking a toll on human minds, not just on human bodies, on human minds. So, at least 20 minutes of consuming a positive emotional diet. You choose your content. It could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be a self transformation book, it could be spiritual study, it could be a scripture which you like, whatever, whatever you choose. But 20 minutes of faith, of compassion, of gratitude, of peace, of forgiveness, of love, that content has to go in, which means content of who I want to become 20 minutes in the first hour of the morning, not during the day, first hour of the morning. And then, of course, you take care of the body with your walk, your exercise, yoga, pranayam, whatever you like best. So, ideally, at least 45 minutes to an hour in the morning should be for the self. And don't allow your mind to say, I don't have time. No, it's not possible. We have to start investing this 45 minutes to 1 hour because this is going to be our protection of the mind and the body during this pandemic and also always afterwards. So, this is morning routine, gratitude, affirmations, spiritual study, that is positive emotional diet. First 30 minutes of the morning. Now come to the night, just before you go to sleep. Again, the most important time is first thought of the morning and last thought before you go to sleep. Again, the blotting paper is going to be there. We are going to go into the delta stage. So the last thought before we sleep is very important. At least 15 minutes, last hour before we sleep, no news, no world news, no news channels, no information, no content which has anger, greed, ego, negativity, stress, nothing. No movies of that kind, no serials, no OTT platforms, nothing in the last 1 hour. Ideally 2 hours, but at least 1 hour. Last 1 hour on any day, not even on a Sunday when you have a holiday, any day, last 1 hour, no negative content should go inside the mind. Otherwise, we don't have good sleep. We don't have good sleep. And good sleep nahi hai, so we get affected emotionally. So last 1 hour, no negative content. Last 15 minutes or 10 minutes also, positive emotional diet. Again, I have to read, listen, 10 minutes only. But the last content that has to go here before I sleep has to be very positive. So positive emotional diet just before you go to sleep, 10 minutes. Close your eyes, lie down and say your affirmations. I am a powerful being. I am calm, I'm stable, I'm happy, I'm detached. Just say these 2-3 times and go to sleep. So these are your last thoughts on your mind just as you're going to sleep. Next 6 to 7 hours as you sleep, these last thoughts, these last affirmations will get deeply programmed over here. Very, very deep. The last thought before we sleep is very important, and the first thought when we wake up in the morning. These two times taken care of. And the third thing, very simple, the food we eat. The food we eat doesn't just nourish our body. The food we eat is also vibration for the mind. That's why it said, you are what you eat. You are what you eat is not the body. It is you are what you eat. In Hindi, the line is very accurate. Jaisa anna, vaisa man, which means as is the food, so is the mind. Jaisa pani, vaisi vani. As is the water, so are the words. Which means food and water have vibrations and they affect our thoughts and our words. Let's experiment with the vegetarian diet. It's very important for healthcare professionals, for healers, for doctors to experiment with the vegetarian diet and then take that message out into the world. Vegetarian diet, healthy for the mind and for the body both. Both. An animal in a slaughterhouse creates fear, anxiety, hatred, helplessness, anger, then violence, then death. How did we tell people that this was health? How could somebody's death be health? You know better than any of us what all happens in a dead body. How did we give it to people calling it health? We could say it's proteins, but we can't call it health. Lot of difference. So let's experiment with the vegetarian diet. You're going to feel very lighter in your mind and also healthier in your body. So let's do at least a 6 months experiment with a vegetarian diet. Second, right now, during this pandemic, at home and even in hospitals, extremely important in hospitals also, have very positive words playing in the kitchen. Because where food is being cooked, whatever words are playing, they will go into the food. They will go into the food. That's why if you see how food is cooked in mandir, in the temples, in the gurdwara, church, masjid, it's very high energy because the vibration will go into the food and then the food vibration will affect the mind of the people who eat. So have high energy words playing in the kitchen of the house and the kitchen of the hospital. It could be prayers, it could be chanting, it could be bhajan, it could be spiritual songs, whatever the hospital is comfortable with and whatever you like at home. But please play that in your kitchen. Right now, even the water of the city is vibrating with fear and anxiety. There is vibration in water, there's energy. I'm sure you all must have seen the effect of emotions on water crystals. Please see online. There are crystals, photos are there. Effect of emotions on water crystals. Our body is mostly water. If the water has fear and anxiety, water crystal in my body will not be right, again health gets affected. So water and food needs to be energized in the kitchen, cooked in the right frame of mind. Please take care in the hospital that people who are cooking need to be very calm and stable. Don't allow your kitchen of the hospital to have people shouting and screaming and getting irritated. Not good energy. Not good energy for the patients, not good energy even for the doctors and the nurses and the staff who are going to eat that food. So kitchen needs to be like a place of worship, high energy place. Now, while eating, no phones, no TV while eating. This is an absolute no no for emotional diet. No phones, no TV while eating. And last one step, just before you eat. Remember, we were taught as children to pray before we eat. There's a reason for that. The food has vibrations of the people who cooked it, of the environment around. So when that food comes before us, or when that glass of water, and especially when you're eating in a hospital or drinking water in a hospital, there's so much energy of pain. It's there in the food and water. Never eat food and water. Never eat food or drink water before taking a pause of 2 seconds. Only 2 seconds you pause, but you have to take a pause. Like we wash our hands, like we wash the glass. Similarly, we need to wash the energy of that food and water. So when that food is before you or the glass of water is before you, just take that 2-3 second pause, connect to the higher power, say your affirmations into the food and water. I'm a powerful being, I'm calm and stable, I'm detached, I'm fearless, I'm perfect and healthy. God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. That's it. How much time did it take? Nothing. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's all. Please say this. This is huge protection. Huge, huge protection. You will see amazing results in your mind and in how your body feels if you say this in your every food and water. Food and water is radiating with fear and anxiety right now. There is enough evidence. We have enough evidence for all this. Just do it. This is called prasad. This is called amrit. Just experiment with it. Please pause for that 3 seconds, which we were taught as children, and let's do it now. Let's put the affirmation into our food and water. So once in the morning, once in the night, 3 meals and 6-7 glasses of water. And if you drink tea or coffee, then even that time. So you have said your affirmation at least 10 to 12 times in a day. It's not too much. It takes only 5 seconds. Just by doing that, and your emotional diet 20 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before going to sleep, and during the day, aware I am the creator of my response and I will choose the right response. I'm working on my denominator. You are going to be emotionally very, very strong. Very, very strong, very, very calm and positive, very stable, even if things outside are not the way we wanted it to be. The mind will be the way we wanted it to be. And when the mind is calm, handling the situation becomes very easy. Very easy. So it's our role to take care of our emotional fitness and our physical health. And then you are ready to be able to take care of everyone else who's coming in your energy field. So just for 1 month, start experimenting with this simple, simple lifestyle. Within 10-15 days, you are 100% going to see the result of that. It's 100%. If anybody does everything, it's 100% you will see a result within the next 15 days. And then it's your experience, it's your evidence, and you can continue with that then. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Shivani. This was fantastic. It's absolutely exhilarating. The way you spoke, the way you described, the equations, the scientific equation which you gave. Stress is equal to pressure upon resilience. Resilience is depending on the inner power. The affirmations which you gave, it's fantastic. It's really, I was just seeing the watch now. It's 50 to 55 minutes, and I didn't realize how this time went. So it's really a nice message you have given us, what to do in the morning, first thing, what to do in the night. It is Sankalp Se Siddhi, thoughts manifest. I think that's the fantastic message which you've given us. The affirmations: I'm a powerful being, I'm calm and stable, I'm fearless, I'm detached. Already I'm, by hearting all those things. Create a protection around you, your family, the hospital, the food we eat, how it should be made. A small 3-second prayer. Fantastic. A big round of applause virtually for ma'am. Really.